What's up, YouTube? This is Rocky, and I'm uploading a new video for today. At the same time, I am cleaning flaxseed dust off of my shoulders. I've been doing the flaxseed gel challenge. I don't know if it's a challenge, but it's a trend. I've been using it on my skin. At the same time, I've been using it on my hair, and I think I just did too much of a good thing. I think, which is the topic of today's video, doing too much of a good thing. As you guys know, this channel is about my weight loss and my wellness journey. And I try to be as honest and as candid as I can about my weight loss journey and my wellness journey. And I am experiencing more success than I ever thought in my life. Just simply by paying attention to what it is I'm eating, by paying attention to what it is that I'm doing to my body, that I'm doing with my body, how I'm changing my life, what I'm changing my life for, the things that I am doing to change my life, to increase my quality of life, to increase my dexterity, my flexibility, my strength, my endurance. Because as you know, as I said, my goal, at the end of all this is to participate in an Ironman triathlon. I hope they're still strong. I hope they're still going. I remember just watching the games, the Ironman games, and just being in awe of people who are in that type of physical shape. Not that they have anything to worry about. Not that it's something that I could not achieve, but I remember being an athlete, and I remember depending upon my body's strength and flexibility in order to achieve a goal, a trophy, recognition, just to win, that competitive spirit that I think exists within us all. And not to mention, they got nice fat paychecks. I just thought that was the creme de la creme of physical competition. Yeah, physical competition. And it's not football, it's not anything technical. It all depends on your training, your endurance, the skill that you have of swimming and running and riding a bike, and how a lot of people attribute that to only endurance, and me knowing that there is a skill involved in it. It's a wellness skill. It's a skill about building endurance. It's a skill about how you feed your body, and those different foods and supplements that you put inside your body that support you as you compete, and as you want to change and sculpt your body into something that you can rely on every day, that you can connect with every day. Because one of the things that I've experienced being overweight is the disconnect. And that is the scariest feeling of all. It's waking up and not looking in the mirror, but feeling that somehow you are disconnected from your body. Because you want to do something with your body, and your mind is telling you you're too heavy, you don't have the flexibility, you don't have the endurance, and you don't have the strength. I know my weight loss journey is not typical. It is not, because I am a former athlete. I am used to pushing my body. I am used to using my body to achieve a certain goal, a certain fitness goal, to a trophy, and award, either awarded to myself personally or as a team member. And I kind of missed that lifestyle. And I, at the time, had no idea really about marathons and triathlons and like that. I only, I attributed that only to those extraordinary athletes that competed in the Olympics. And then I started reading stories about senior citizens competing in Ironman, and mothers after having 4 and 5 children competing in Ironman. I'm like, well, shit. This is something that I can do. And of course, I was a young mother at the time. I was pregnant with my son, and even before I got pregnant, I just did not think that I could gain that type of physical fitness. I just did not. And to this day, I'm still apprehensive about it. But I'm not apprehensive about it. I'm still curious about how to get there. because I want to get there. That is one of my goals. And I tell you, I'm going to claim this here on YouTube. You know how they talk about manifestation? You guys, I'm going to make a video about me competing in the Ironman triathlon. If those games do not end, if they are still going, you will see me one day competing in them. That is a promise. Just because I adore it. I see that gladiator spirit in those competitors, and I see that they, that they put the work and the time and the effort into achieving a certain goal. And to me, there is no greater reward than competing against your peers and receiving, those accolades, the representation, the sponsorship, and to get put in Sports Illustrated or Iron Man magazine. And I mean, those are just my goals. Those are my goals, because those are the things, that's the type of person I am. I've always been, I never ever do things because of my peers. I do experience some peer motivation. And that is because, I put myself in the arena, with athletes and people who are of my peer group who want to compete in certain games in order to receive a certain type of accolade and recognition and reward. And those things are just important to me, whereas they're not important to other people. And I was just laying here one day, and I started doing my YouTube channel about skincare, and I just decided, you know what? There's got to be something more that I can do with my YouTube channel. And I looked at myself, and I looked at how big I was, and you know how you just have that spark. There's something sparked in me that says, no, let's start telling the truth. And if you're going to put your business out there on the internet, make it worth it. Make it something that somebody wants to watch. Make it something that you can be proud of. Make it something where you're achieving a certain goal, and make it so that it's inspirational to anybody who wants to try it. Anybody who wants to try to achieve something new in their life that they think is impossible. That yes, they're experiencing some type of shame or apprehension because of bad habits, because of bad behaviors, because of depression, because of a lot of the things that I went through in my life where I developed that spirit of doubt. I've experienced so many things. I've experienced homelessness. I've experienced living in poverty. And when I put my foot down and finally said no more, my life began to change. It began to change, and not because I listen to people tell me to do so, because I listen to that voice inside me that says I'm better, I'm stronger, I don't want to live like this, I don't want to die like this, I want to have a better life for myself, and I deserve it. And those were just the key things I kept telling myself. And one of the things that I noticed that a lot of people up on those stages will not tell you, the minute you decide to change your life, that's when the opposition shows up. That's when the opposition really shows up. That's when those challenges really present themselves to you. You're overweight. Have you seen some of those athletes? They're strong. They've never had a weight issue. Some of them have been competing for 20 to 30 years, and then all of a sudden you had an epiphany, a thought, a spark that you want to compete alongside this group of people, and you tell yourself in a resounding voice, whether you realize it or not, yes, most definitely, this is what I want. And when it dawns on you that's what you want, there is nothing else that gets in the way but you. And one of the things that I have learned is to remain motivated. And I kind of have to reel it in because I want to make this video. I want to have some length to this video. I want you guys who watching to understand my true motivation, but behind me starting a wellness and weight loss platform, and not just wellness and weight loss, but holistic medicine, inspirational medicine, anything that I used in order to pull myself out of a very, very dark place and to continue to be inspired, to improve and to change on who I am as a person. Because I'm not, we all think that we're just that terrible person because we gained weight, we lost a job, something in our lives happened, we lost a loved one, and we all internalize that, and we think to ourselves that, well, it made us less worthy. I mean, to this day, since my mother died, I have a problem with understanding why she's gone, because my mother was my best friend. She was my confidant. She was my ally. And to this day, when I'm, grappling with an idea or an issue, I just want to call on her, or either I want to retreat because because I'm still developing that voice. I'm still developing that voice. I know I'm still developing that voice that knows how to ask questions, that demands a functional answer, an answer that makes sense. I am still that person that desires, clarity. And now I'm getting to the point where I can ask those complex questions, that I can gain clarity through complex situations, and that I can and I can be productive instead of being shut down by people who are either incapable of doing their jobs or who simply, don't want to. Because that is one of the things that I kind of confronted in my life. People who just don't want to help. They don't care to help. And I said, you know what? This is the real world. This is the world that my mother was shielding me from. This is the world that my mother did not want me to know about. She didn't want me to know how much people don't care. She did not want me to know how selfish people are. And so she provided for me, and she provided a life for me. And I didn't go through life with blinders on, but I did go through life making my own decisions and falling victim to my own decisions and not the decisions of other people. And knowing that people judge you for those things. Oh, now, now you need me. Now you need help. Now you want this. Now you want that. You're not all this. You're not all that. And that is what's basically been confronting me. You're nothing without your mother. I went through all of this. And I thought to myself, I'm going to be quiet until my voice comes. Until I can speak up for myself, until I can determine what is best for me and the people in my life that are dependent upon me. And that in itself is a challenge that I'm having to take on, because not only has my mother passed, but my father has passed. And my father was very instrumental in raising my son. And losing my father, was kind of like the last straw. And I'm sure in my life somewhere I'm in a state of shock, but I could not let the situation overwhelm me, because now I am truly that single mother where her children are dependent upon her being healthy, being happy, being present, being strong, and being able to be physically capable of living, of traveling to them, of traveling with them, in their daily lives. I mean, my children are young adults and they're getting along in their lives really well. But sometimes, my kids are like, look, let's go do this. Let's go do that. And I don't want to be that mom that sits at home and that's too tired or too overweight in order to, to go hang out with her kids and do family things. And also I don't want to be that mom that doesn't know how to prepare, holiday feast for her kids. I mean, healthy, wholesome, good holiday meals without burdening, without burdening my family, A lot of people who take on endeavors like wellness and weight loss endeavors, they burden their families with, okay, we're going to change this, we're going to change that. And it's not about changing. It's about preparation. It's about, the wellness of the product. It's about how you prepare it, the wellness of the product, how clean it is, and whether, and how it's sourced. And that is, an endeavor that a lot of households really don't want to take on. But I had done it once before with my mother. Once my mother realized that I was dealing with chronic health conditions that can be changed or improved by the nature of my diet, she took on that endeavor. And it's now important for me to continue to carry that on in order to, in order to continue to make sure that my family is healthy and happy and without being burdened. And and I wouldn't be making a video if I hadn't had success. I would make a short. I would make a short about my failures, but about my successes, I feel like I really do need to sit down and explain how I am achieving a great deal of success. Okay, you guys know about here's one thing I'm going to let you in on. You know about the government program that is polarized in social media about people receiving these huge paychecks and these debit cards. Well, there's certain limitations to those rewards, and those rewards include you completing healthy behaviors. No, you just don't sign up for health insurance. No, somebody just doesn't give you, they just don't start giving you money. It is because you have completed a healthy behavior. Going to see your doctor, taking your medications, getting your yearly breast exams, getting your yearly colorectal exams. I mean, really taking care of yourself, because, the health industry cares. If they can help people prolong their life by getting them into, it's motivation, right? It's motivation to get you up off your ass, to go get you to see your doctor or your healthcare professional, and it's motivation to keep you interested in your health and well-being. Whereas, because a lot of people, y'all, are really dying from simple health issues that could have been addressed by going to see your doctor, by taking certain medications, by changing your behaviors, by changing what you eat. Just simple things that you can do every day that can prevent heart attacks and prevent you from having chronic healthcare issues because you refuse to stop eating certain things or eating in a certain way. And as for me, it began to be a personal endeavor. I never failed to see my doctor. I never failed to take my medication. But I took up this challenge because wellness just became an issue for me. It just continued to echo in my ear. It continued to be said, and one of the things that was happening with the wellness industry, it was becoming something kind of dark and kind of I want to say this with all most respect in the world. It was being attributed to things like witchcraft and I don't know, a ridiculous realm of well-being. And because I had previous experience with organic foods and exotic teas and spices and things like that, and basically having those things simply save my life, I felt the desire to kind of shift the focus of my channel to those things that I really have found fulfillment in, that I love, that I can share with somebody else, that can inspire anybody else that's on a weight loss and wellness journey to pay attention. Pay attention to yourself, pay attention to what's going on within you. Learn how to write it shit down. I remember I made a short earlier about writing down everything that you go through in your day related to your diet, related to your wellness journey, and related to your fitness. Write down how long you exercise. Write down how you felt about exercising. Write down your fast, or either get an app. There's so many apps out there that are advertised for weight loss, and I love mine. I love it, because a lot of times when I eat, I feel guilty, and I'm like, well, let me write down what I ate, and let me get the fat, the protein, the sugars, and the calories. Let me get the breakdown of what it is that I just ate that's causing me to feel guilty, and it takes the guilt off. Yesterday I had basically I had a piece of German chocolate cake, and it was just a little square, but I felt so guilty. So I was like, let me find out what's in this German chocolate cake. I found out what was in the German chocolate cake: the fat, the calories, the proteins, the sugars, and all that. And it just simply was not. If I had sat down and ate an entire cake, yeah, I would have an issue. But I decided that, okay, I haven't had anything super processed, high fat, high sugar, just completely indulgent in a long time. So I decided to try a little piece of German chocolate cake. And I didn't like it. Yeah. And here's why. My palate is basically changing. If I'm going to enjoy a German chocolate cake, I'm going to have to either go to a gourmet shop that really knows how to do, because I bought it from the supermarket, but I know how to shop for really indulgent chocolate gooey desserts and things like that. I live in the Midwest, and I live in a city where, fortunately for me, there are restaurants that there are award-winning restaurants that I can go to really and truly indulge and entice my palate. So I basically decided that I would just leave it to that choose a special occasion. I'm not going to, I don't want to, and I decided to treat my, I'm jumbling over my words because I'm super excited about all of this success that I've achieved. So after I had the German chocolate cake, I realized, it was not the time for it. My palate had changed. I was just not, I was not excited about it. It wasn't how I felt when my aunt made a German chocolate cake from scratch, and I just sat there, and the cake was still warm, and the icing was still warm, and it hadn't gone through any process of preservatives or refrigeration, and just sitting there and enjoying the taste of it. And purchasing it in the store, knowing that it had been sitting there for a while, it just it wasn't good to my palate. My palate has changed. And those little basic indulgences just were not worth it. They weren't worth it to my self-esteem. It did not make me happy. Kind of made me a little sad. It kind of made me a little depressed, gave me a little bit of heartburn. And and that was, that to me was a reward. That means I'm maturing in my palate and what I like to eat and what tastes good. I am no longer at the whim of my urges. I am no longer at the whim of having to snack in order to feel good or feel fulfilled or to receive enjoyment. And that to me was the point of breaking that bad habit, was stop eating processed sugars, processed foods that are high preservatives and high calories and high fats, and being brave enough and being confident enough to walk up to the deli counter and say, you know what, I want that freshly cut bacon, I want that fresh fish, I want that fresh unpacked ground beef, and knowing that it had less preservatives, less fat, less pesticides. And clean, and shopping in stores where they serve clean, whole foods, organic foods. And I wish that I could tell people, because I understand the debate against regular grocery stores and stores like Whole Foods and Trader Joe's and a lot of other organic food markets and things like that. If you can treat yourself to an organic fruit or meat at least once to twice a month, I think that should build your momentum, because eating clean foods changed my life. When I started eating clean foods, my breathing got better. My mental focus got better. I was less irritated. I was less agitated. I was less constipated. And I felt guilty because I know the arena of organic marketing. It is very niche. It is highly criticized by a lot of people who don't really know what to eat. And y'all, if I could do everything organic, I would, but it's expensive. And it also is about habits. Because I still do walk into Whole Food stores, and I walk into a lot of clean grocery stores, and I think to myself, this can't be that good. It's got to be a trick to it. It's got to be a hormone in it that's going to cause me to have a big tumor in a couple of years that's the size of a watermelon. And to be honest with you, oh my goodness, I have been eating organic for years, and it has only made me want more of that life. It has made me want to eat cleaner. It has made me want to bake my own pies and cakes and cookies because because it's offering up that lifestyle. I walked into Whole Foods and I mean herbs and spices that I had never even heard of. But, that I never even heard of. Then I got on YouTube and started searching. I'm like, oh, no. My grandmother used to put this in her greens. My grandmother used to put this on her chicken. That's what I'm talking about. But we are Southern people, y'all. We are Southern people that are used to doing everything from scratch. Yeah. And when I got older and kind of began to shop and live on my own, I did such a poor ass job because I started eating a lot of processed foods. Like, I don't know how to make lasagna, so I'm going to go get a lasagna out of the freezer. I don't know how to make rotisserie chicken, so I'm going to go get this freeze-dried rotisserie chicken. I don't know how to make greens, so I'm going to go get these canned greens. And a lot of these things are still really good for you, but nothing is best than the way that I was raised. Foods and vegetables cleaned and cooked properly, with few pesticides. I mean, literally, farmers markets for us, you guys. Everybody is now going to farmers markets. The only way that my mother would get her greens is they literally had a farmers market in our community where farmers would come and set up, and they would mostly have greens and fresh vegetables, and that is the only time we ate greens. The first time my mother had prepackaged greens, she threw them out. Basically throw them away. This is not good food. This is not something I want to feed my family. And so basically she found a market where she can get some freshly cut collard green, mustard greens, turnip greens, fresh bell peppers, fresh onions, and things like that. And now that that market has grown, because if you all remember, I remember, nobody was setting up produce like it is now. Produce and fruits, they used to all be specialty. It used to be specialty places in our grocery stores. And now, it's in demand, which is also a good thing, which also means that more and more people are aware, more and more people are making better choices. And as for me, like I said, being an adult, I didn't know how to make lasagna. I didn't know how to make fried chicken. I just watched my mother do it. And so when I saw all that prepackaged food in the grocery stores, I went hog wild for it. But I did not know how it would affect my metabolism. I did not know how it would affect my skin, my hair, how I felt. And literally ran into a friend in college, and her lifestyle was very grassroots and was very organic, and she took me to this market, and I felt like I had stepped into Oz. I was like, this is amazing. I mean, eating fresh, crispy potato chips with the salt content was so low or non-existent, yet it was still yummy. Eating popcorn, eating cookies, eating chicken and things like that did not have the preservatives, that you did not have to clean. It was an enlightening experience. And that was one of the first times that I had gotten healthy in my life. And I was not aware that you can make this a lifestyle. I just wasn't. I just was not aware of I did not have the desire for consistency. You have to build the desire for certain attitudes and behaviors, because convenience stores are called convenience stores for a reason. So you have to build that attitude to want to stay consistently with whole, fresh, clean, organic fruits and vegetables and meats and things like that. And it has to become a habit. Some people love convenience, and some people will never understand that. But as somebody who suffers from chronic health issues, and somebody who has benefited from supplements and eating clean whole foods, and to me it's imperative You know, and some people, and I know, and another one of the reasons why I kind of shy away from, you know, from truly understanding what a clean, healthy, organic life is because there is a stigma to it. You know, you're a hippie, you're you know, you're off the beaten path, you know, you're different. And it's not that I'm trying to be that. It's just that I'm trying to live a whole healthy life, and I want to increase the longevity of my life, and I want to increase my health and how I live, and that is just important to me. So hopefully, you know, by the end of this year, I will be 100% clean. I will be 100% organic. I mean, the opportunities are out there. They're online. They're in our cities. You know, they're everywhere. And hopefully I'll have the wits and the stamina that it takes to continue to live that lifestyle, because it is hard. It is hard. It is very difficult. And a lot of people underestimate, you know, their ability to be able to say, well, what's wrong with just going to a grocery store? Stay consistent about it. Know when you're running out of food and say, oh, okay, I'll just run over here and get it. No, you can't just run over there and get it, because it's organic. It's organic. Excuse me. It's clean. It's farmed a different way. You're eating different. And trust and believe that the way that I shop now is very different. It's extremely different. I go to certain stores like and I go to certain stores particularly because of their products, because of their foods, skincare, hair care, specifically. Like, everybody likes Ulta and Sephora and you know, and then you have to search for cruelty free. I like going to places like Whole Foods and Walmart and Target that have specific areas that say, okay, this is the organic area. You know, because, you know, sometimes I'm like cattle and I need to be guided there. Because the market is huge. And there are so many claims, you know, in the market so that people can increase sales or be able to fit into a certain niche when it comes to sales of organic goods, healthy, clean products, you know, to consumers, you know, in order to charge a certain amount of money. And then you get it home and you realize this is not it. This is not it. So you want to be able to go to specific retailers that say, okay, this is organic, this is clean, and nothing really says that better than reputation. There are some brands that have just been out there for years that can be relied upon, that I have been using for years, and I'm just extremely happy about. And how I know that they're that good is that they're just not popular. Yeah. You know, but they are definitely good products. They are reliable and clean and organic, and I just, you know, simply love that. But I want to show you guys something else that I got in the mail today. It is amazing. I have been exercising, y'all, but I've been on the floor. I've been on my hardwood floors. I know, right? Aw. But I got in the mail today with my healthcare rewards, y'all. My healthcare provider that I signed up with, I completed some healthy behaviors, and I went on their reward shop, and first of all, I was amazed, blown away by the many health and wellness tools that they have. And I got this yoga mat. Like I said, I've been on the floor doing my exercises because I was that committed into movement. But I realized that I wanted to do more complex movements. And if you're on your floor, no matter how clean they are, you're still going to pick up some debris, right? So I decided I'm going to invest in this yoga mat. I'm going to invest in this. And as soon as I got it, I just took to it, you know, immediately. Just my motivation increased. My desire to use it increased more. And those are you know, and that's what helps. And that's what makes some tools different than others. That's what makes your decision different than others. Like, you can get on the floor with any old type of, you know, with a sheet, with anything. But once you have that piece of equipment that kind of eases your mind about providing safety in your environment, you know, providing you with the necessary support that you need to perform certain exercises properly, that help you, that help motivate you to work out, because now that I have my yoga mat, nothing is, I have no excuse for stretching. There's nothing to keep me from stretching every day, from getting on that floor and at least for 10 to 20 minutes, starting out every day. Just start simple stretches, just to feel your body, just to get in touch with your muscles and your movements and your form. I mean, that is one of the first steps, I feel, to a wellness and weight loss program. Like, you can join a gym and you can get a personal trainer, but you need somebody that's going to help you get in tune with your motivations. Why are you motivated to work out? Why are you motivated to live this certain lifestyle? And some people are motivated by others, and that's awesome. I'm motivated because I have an idea inside me that I see that I want for my life, and that's a healthy life. It's a functioning life. It's a life that is healthy, with healthy breathing, healthy movements, and the proper motivation. Those are the things that I've been having problems with, finding the proper motivation. A lot of people are inspired by what they see around them. I'm happy when I see other people achieving their goals. But is that going to inspire me? No, because if I don't see myself in that position of success, and I'm just not going to engage in it. But every day I set a goal for myself to see to find out, to see what I can accomplish for myself, to see what I can change in my life. That becomes my motivation. And I want to wake up at some point in time and be proud of what I've done. Not because of what somebody else had, but because of what I've achieved, because of a plan I made for myself, because of an idea that I saw for myself, that I put in the work, the time, and the effort in my own personal way, because of the decisions that I made, because of the choices that I made. And for somebody like me, it's just important. It's important for me to have, it's important for me to experience that type of gratification in my life. It really is. And I hope that what I'm saying and what I'm doing inspires anybody who's watching this to want to do the same thing. Write down what it is you want in your life right now, from this day forward. Okay, let me, like I said, I see myself in running an Ironman triathlon. I want that for myself. I can't see anything else within the next 5 to 10 years, working towards that for myself. And it motivates me every day. It excites me every day. And as long as I can see it and feel it every day, then I know that I'll work towards it. And that is what I am hoping that my story can inspire somebody to do, is to basically defy yourself. Defy your limitations, defy your negative thoughts, defy all your apprehensions and your fears, and just do what, and just go out there and try it. And the first thing that comes to mind, like anybody else, is that how many diet programs out there. The fact that there are too many diet programs out there should be your motivation to try. The fact that there are too many, cooks in the kitchen should be your motivation to try. And I think that, I think if you try, you can accomplish whatever you set your mind to. So I'm going to leave you. Thank you again. Thank you for, for listening to my story. And I hope that somebody, and I leave this every time, I hope that somebody is inspired in some way by the story that I'm telling, because it's my story. It's not somebody else's. It's about things that I've had to overcome. It's about situations that I'm dealing with. And in some way, I hope that somebody can relate to it, or sympathize or empathize with my circumstance, and use that as motivation to change whatever is going on in their lives that they're just unhappy with. whether it be a behavior or a person, a circumstance, an instance, whatever. It takes 30 days to break a bad habit, but it also takes 30 days to learn a new, more positive, more productive behavior. Happy New Year and peace.